From indiemerch.com, and because you really don't get t-shirts like these in India, so this is a special mail order that I ordered, because bands like these you don't really get them in India, and the Indian metal scene has really improved. Look at the t-shirts that you're getting here. While
since actually both of us have been in the metal scene, I think we started with bands with like equal semblance and back in the day, and later at least I worked a lot with Joint Family, with like we worked with Undying, and Delhi metal scene is very weird actually. To begin with, Delhi metal bands, Delhi people are not as angry as say somebody from Bombay or somebody from Shillong is. We have a nice city, nice wide roads, like till now no traffic jams, so people have nothing to get angry about. So I mean, metal by and large was quite a like a pusu movement in Delhi, to put it succinctly. But for the last 5 years, we've noticed this new trend. What are you smiling about?
It's my face.
We've noticed this new trend that I don't know how to phrase it, but the Delhi bands have started experimenting more. They are, I mean, a large part of being metal is being angry. They are angry about things. I don't know what they're angry about, but they're a little angry about things at least now. So the metal that is coming out now, the metal that you hear from Delhi is quite on a quality. I mean, it's on a plane of existence on its own, and it's quality-wise, it's a lot better than what it was before.
Well, the Delhi metal scene, in my opinion, has been the one to, really bloom the last. Like, it was going along pretty fine, and, you had news from cities like Bombay, where you had your big bands, like your Zeros, from Calcutta, you had your own set of bands. From Bangalore, you had your own set of bands, your Cryptoses, and, all these people. Delhi suddenly, out of nowhere, I think around 2005, 2006, it just exploded. Because you had these young, fresh bands that were coming up with all original music, which was previously unheard of. Every band used to be primarily a cover band. Now you had these young kids who were taking the scene by storm, and just coming up with wonderfully fresh and original music. So that way, yeah, I think Delhi has, at least over the last 3-4 years, it's been the scene to, stamp its authority pretty much the most.
And do listen to a wide variety of music, but the reason why I choose to play metal and I choose to stick to this genre is because it's the kind of expression that I feel the most attached to, and I feel that whatever I have to say and whatever I have to express in terms of my opinions, the vehicle that is the best suited for me to do that is metal.
You can't just say no and leave metal like that. It's different. It's like one kind of a religion or something like that. You just can't run away. So I still play metal and I still enjoy.
As far as why we play metal, I mean, there's no particular reason, but I think it's like the only genre where it's like your ultimate outlet of rage. I mean, rage, any anger, or even if you want to talk about society or you want to talk about any of your views which are against society or any view that you hold in particular, metal is probably the most aggressive form of music that will probably get it out and reach it out. Which is why we play metal, and we like the whole all the blast beats and stuff. So it works out for us. I mean, it's fun, it's entertaining, and it's alive. That's why I like metal.
At the end of the day, it's a form of our expression, it's a form of our emotions, it's a way of venting out our frustrations, government, politics, bullshit, crap, Pakistan, India, whatever bullshit happening, man. Shiv Sena, bullshit.
Yeah, Shiv Sena sucks.
It's just a way of saying that fuck you, man.
I hope he doesn't say it. In your face.
It's fun. It gets me laid.
And as far as I'm concerned, for me, I cannot, stand with a mic stand and hold a mic like this and stand and sing. For me, I need to run around here and there on the stage and, just control the crowd in every possible way. Okay. So this is what I want. So, I think the only sort of music that will let me do it is metal.
Well, as a kid, you come across all these rock music because for a start, in the Northeast, we were not influenced by this Bollywood music because as you can see, the missionaries came from, the British missionaries came, and then we were influenced by the Western music, and we were not into this Bollywood kind of music. As a matter of fact, we got all these black market cassettes from Burma, and then we grew up with all these rock musics, and then you get influenced, and then year after year you want to grow heavier and heavier. You want something more interesting, more challenging, and as a guitarist you want to find something more technical or more challenging, so it grew up.
Marilyn Manson once said that if you don't understand something, you call it hell.
Almost everything in this world is associated with negative stereotypes, and metal is no different. And we just have to look beyond these things and concentrate on what we want to do. People are always not receptive to anything which is new. And so we understand that, no problem. And it is stupid because the fact is that the world is not willing to accept change.
Stereotypes will always exist. I think basic reason why India has so many stereotypes is because the metal scene is very new here. It's not a kind of music that originated from here. So, I mean, stereotypes will always exist. I mean, I play metal, like even for example, some of our past band members, their parents weren't cool with it, ki kya chila rahe ho, and how kaise sab hota hai. So, that stuff you have to deal with. Ab scene bahut bad raha hai, aage ja raha hai. So, eventually I think there is a future, and if you just stick with it, stick around, something will work out. Stereotypes keep happening. Just don't give a shit about it and just move on.
asking us because it's stereotypical. Yeah, stereotypical. It's metal, so it must be different. It must be. That's how headbangers music. All they do is this and dude,
Based on
like,
the same notes, yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and the sharps and the flats and the harmonies.
yeah, it's more like people actually look at metal with this view, process view we call it. And frankly speaking, if you look into it, the kind of madness that is involved with metal, it's much more sane than the normal world actually has around.
Negative stereotypes will always be there. We know what we are playing. It's our religion, our art. We put in a lot of effort to make our music, and it's not. We don't give a fuck about anyone's stereotypes or anything. It's our music, we love it.
People get into metal because they are sick of the way the world is around them. They're sick of the way they're treated every time, and it doesn't have to be people who are psychotic. People like you and me face troubles every day.
Like what Biz was saying, that we are not like really angry people in our lives, that we are walking around breaking things or something. Yeah, we're not like that. I mean, we'll help the old guy cross the road, and we'll relate to kids or whatever. We're just normal guys. We're not gonna say like fuck you, fuck off, get out of our face.
What do you think about the negative stereotypes associated with metal? Like if someone listens to metal, though satanic hai ya pagal hai ya, what do you think about that?
That's stupid. Yeah, that's how I think. That's stupid. Because even back home, we're from a Christian community, and metal is like zero. I think you can understand that. So then suddenly we start out the real metal thing, and people keep talking about the metal thing, like the negative thing about metal, like, oh yeah, they do this, they do that, headbanging on the stage, no proper singing, growling and stuff like that. It's kind of evil. So they also used to say that we're some kind of Satanist or something like that, but I'm a Christian. So I don't really care about that shit, because it's, from my point of view, it's one form of art.
Some people like to wear long hair because they like to wear long hair. It's as simple as that. There's nothing more to it or nothing less to it, because they just want to grow their hair long. But as for the whole Satanism, painting your faces white stuff, all that, except for the countries where it originated in, it's more of just an attention-grabbing gimmick, in my opinion at least. That's what I have to say about it. So people should learn to not take it seriously. Just like the bands themselves, I'm sure, do not take it seriously.
We all have different concepts or different views. For us, if you listen to boy bands, you think you're gay or something. That's something stupid. And then maybe people, if they listen to death metal especially, for them it's kind of like a noise. So for them, if you think like we're playing death metal, then why play this kind of noise, and so they might think we're psychotic or something. I do understand that we all have different feelings and different understandings and different kinds of music.
I would not like to classify music into metal, jazz, or any other sort of music. For me, music is music. So I'll not criticize that people are commenting that metal sucks, metal is this, metal is that, because for me, I personally won't do that. If they understand music, they'll understand the kind of music that we play.
You have a job?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
Yeah, you won't believe me if I told you. I work as an English instructor in Lingua.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I teach.
I teach guitar, music theory. I do graphic designing, website designing, 3D animation.
Yeah, I'm currently working with 95 FM. I'm doing productions there. I just joined like 3 months ago.
I record bands for a living. I am assistant engineer to Mr. Anupam Roy, who's of Grey Studios fame.
Being a band, we don't play that regular. We don't get gigs that regular also. So we manage. Like we do our own kind of things and we take leave whenever we want, whenever we have to go for a gig. So that's why we can't go and join some corporate office or something like that. We just do what we have to do and what we can do whenever we need to take leave, whenever we need to go abroad. I mean like go outstation for gig, playing gig here and there. So we just do whatever we can.
Actually, one of the reasons why I chose a job like instruction is because it gives me time to do other things. Like for example, giving more time to music. And earlier I used to work as a public relations consultant. And although I enjoyed myself thoroughly in that field, and I think that it's a very interesting field when it comes to using media to influence opinions. The fact is that in a corporate setup, it is simply impossible to give enough time to yourself. Forget your hobbies. I mean, you don't have time for yourselves, and I think that's not a very good thing. Even at a spiritual level, I find it very wrong because no one owns anybody. But today, the world has come to a point where everyone seems to own people just because they are hiring them for some amount of money. The thing with my job, though, instruction, is that I go in, I teach my students, I finish my job and I get out. No one will expect me to work any more than what I have done. So that gives me time to do other things in life, and therefore I think I have one of the best jobs in the world at the moment.
The good thing about my company is when I joined them, I made it clear to them that if I have gigs ya kuch bhi ho, so I would need an off. And like there are a lot of other musicians that work there, like in different bands like Tough on Tobacco, which gets a lot of radio airplay. And so there are a lot of musicians from different big bands, so they understand probably where I come from and what I want, where I want to go with my music and stuff. So they give me the leverage कि छुट्टी ले चार ले ऐसे कुछ मतलब सही scene है वहाँ पे. So but yeah, sometimes it gets hectic, you know, like say you're working from 9 to 7, then coming back jamming, then getting back home again. You have to get up for work the next day or gig hai. Like we just went to Jaipur for a competition and we got back to Delhi at 6 in the morning and I had to work at 9. So उस दिन सोच लो कुछ काम तो हुआ नहीं, but वही था.
That's hard to say because after the job, yeah, I do it, but you know, we have our own regular routines in our job. We go like we start at this hour and we go home at this hour, and after that we jam.